Hello everyone at Our Pagan Opinions. My name is Kara and I'm going to be your Monday sub for I Heart J. Williams. I actually did an audition for this channel, and if you want to know more about who I am, I will put the link to my audition video in the description bar so you get to know me a little better if you didn't see my audition video already, and that way we'll be more familiar with each other in case I see you again. Alright, and every time I'm not needed as a sub, I'm going to be making video responses for all the topics anyway and posting them as a video response to Jay's video. So that's my thing. The topic this week is interview anyone on anything, and since this is a pagan, spiritually based themed channel, I am going to keep the topics as such, kind of in that genre. So who I chose as my interviewee is my friend, my partner, my lover, and the father of my baby. His name is Michael. We tried to make this video twice. The first time our baby hit the stop button halfway through, and the second time the volume didn't go through. Sometimes my thing records and no volume comes through. So I'm going to take you with me this time to the baby room where Michael and my baby are playing, because otherwise I won't be able to get the video done. So here we go. Just hang in there. Somebody's playing in here. Oh my. Hello. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
Meet everyone at Our Pagan Opinions.
Hello, Pagan Opinions.
I'm going to ask you some questions about your spirituality.
Okay.
And how you feel about your spirituality with me, and how you feel about my spirituality. And then moving on to our daughter's spirituality.
Okay, so our spirituality.
Woo! So, pardon the disruptions, but this is what we're working with today. Okay, what was your spirituality growing up? What were you raised under?
I was raised as a Christian.
Raised as a Christian.
Methodist, to be
Methodist
exact.
Christian. How long were you a Methodist Christian?
I went to church for 17, 18 years.
Huh. And what were your views and opinions on Christianity growing up?
Well, it was fun to go to Sunday school, but the stories themselves were a little outlandish for my liking.
Yeah? Were they believable or scary or...
As believable as any other fictional story.
Yeah. Did you know it was fiction when you were growing up?
I mean, it, like I said, seemed like pretty outlandish stories.
Mm-hmm. It never sat right with me either when I heard the creation stories of Christianity.
Right.
So...
Well, nobody's creation stories are really that believable.
Right.
Giant turtles, and I mean...
True.
nobody knows. Okay, just admit it. I don't
know. When did you decide to abandon your religious upbringing?
When I quit having to go to church on Sundays with the family.
When you became an adult, basically?
When I started to be able to say, no, I don't really want to go to church today.
And what spirituality or religious faith took its place, if any?
Oh, I called myself an agnostic.
Agnostic?
Agnostic.
So you didn't think that anybody had the answer?
I saw agnostic as being you question the existence of a God. Mm-hmm. And that was about it. I wasn't willing to say I deny the existence of a God. I don't know.
Yeah. Very good. What was the next question I asked you? Brain fart. Oh! What spirituality or religion do you like akin to now?
Right now, I really identify well with the quantum mechanics and quantum physics that are out there, and dealing with, subatomic particles and how they all are related, and the effect of positive and negative energy on vibrations and things, and matter's energy, and...
Law of attraction.
Sure.
Stuff like that.
Right.
So you've been with me for about 3.5 years now.
3.5 wonderful years.
Aww. And what were your thoughts on finding out that I am pagan?
Well, I've known you for a long time, so I always knew you weren't a born again type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about when you found out that I dabble in witchcraft?
Well, I kind of guessed that too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, what were your thoughts on it?
Well, it seemed kind of cool,
It
seemed cool. A little, you don't really know what to expect when you know that or hear that. Pagan is the same as a witch or same as a druid and all that stuff you read about in fantasy books. So
was it something
I really
that
don't know.
that was intimidating to you, or captivating?
Well, no, because I've known very few witches that could actually do real magic and turn people into pigs and that sort of thing. So I wasn't, I was open to it, but I wasn't really.
We don't turn people into pigs. We just use their skin.
Right.
No, I'm kidding.
And make dolls and poke the dolls and make people hurt.
Yeah. Well, now we've actually had a baby. She just turned 1 year not too long ago. And what are your thoughts on a spiritually unified family structure?
Well, I think it's important to teach to her everything that we know about religion, and ideally even some stuff that we don't currently know, so that she knows there are Christians out there and they believe this ridiculous story, and then there are these people out there that believe this ridiculous story, and that all these different groups of people have different beliefs and what those beliefs are.
So you seem pretty anti-Christian. What if our daughter turned out to be Christian?
Well, then I hope she can have an open sense of humor to deal with some of my Christian jokes.
Yeah. Well, recently in my family, I was raised in an atheist-minded household. Nobody talked about religion or anything, but recently, the past couple of years, my whole family has accepted Jesus, and I made a video about this on my broom closet video. But anyway, so as of late, when we had a baby, the questions of how are we going to celebrate Christmas now, and how are we going to teach her about Jesus and Santa Claus if we don't believe in that? No. We never had a problem celebrating the holidays before, but all of a sudden we do have a problem now. So that leads me to my next question. What is your opinions about teaching a child about Santa Claus and Jesus and letting them have that Santa Claus fantasy?
Well, the way I see it, there won't be a whole lot of difference between explaining them the story of Santa Claus as there is the story of Jesus. They're both just stories that some people believe to be true. Obviously, most people don't actually believe Santa to be true, but yet it's still a tradition and a practice that they go through on a regular basis, much like going to church every Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Children think that Santa Claus is real, and I'm of the opinion that it's kind of cruel to teach a child that something exists and then later the inevitability of them having to find out that it doesn't exist. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know if I'd call it cruel so much as I think it's highly unnecessary, and there's definitely enough magic in the real world that we don't need to embellish and create fantastical stories for the children to follow. She'll know the tradition of Santa Claus and that she can get a present, around that time that says from Santa on it. Mm. But that's all it is a tradition. It's not a, it's not a lie.
So so you believe in letting your child foster fantasy and make-believe and stuff, like believe in fairies and fairy tales?
Absolutely.
And some people would say that not believing or not letting your child believe in Santa Claus, but letting them entertain fantasies about fairies and make-believe is contradictory. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that's what it's all about, to use your imagination and exercise that without having to believe that it's real. Like playing video games, for example. I can play a video game and imagine myself in that setting and in that world without thinking that I've been lied to. That's really how life is. You've got to be able to separate the two.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that there's a big difference in force-feeding your child, telling them, hey, this is from Santa, believe in Santa Claus, and then all of a sudden, oops, sorry, it's been us the whole time, compared to like them making up their own fantasies and believing in their own stories and, coming from within their own spirit. I think there's a big difference.
Yeah, I can imagine Santa flying through the sky in a sleigh. I can imagine dragons flying around. I can imagine all that without actually believing in Santa Claus. Dragons are real, though.
Yeah, dragons are real. Well, that's it. This is going to be on 10 minutes here. So thank you, everyone, for having me. Thank you, Jay, for allowing me to be your sub today. And that's all the questions I have.
Well, thank you, Kara, for having me.
Well, thank you very much, Michael. Hopefully I'll see you guys again sometime. And that's it. Blessed be. Bye.
Try the real.